Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. It's Kathie. I have a final alternate project to share with you using the August 2017 Paper Pumpkin Kit. Today we're going to be featuring 2 Christmas themed cards, and also I have a third one that's non-Christmas that I'm going to be sharing with you. Alright, here's a quick shot of the first one we're going to make. So it's going to be a string of Christmas lights. And I have here a piece of white cardstock that at the end you're going to want it to be 4 inches by 5.5, and with my pencil there I just drew a swirly line across it, and then with garden green I'm just going to trace over that pencil line just so you can see it a lot better. And this is going to be a string of lights that we're going to create. So that's going to be the wire for the lights, and we're going to use the teardrop stamp from the kit, and we're going to stamp it out using Soft Sky. So we'll just start off by stamping each one of those loops in different directions, and then we'll stamp along the wire. So at the end you're going to end up with 7 light bulbs on the top and the bottom, and I did miss 2 of them on the bottom there, so I did end up fixing that afterwards. And what we're going to do for the colorings, we're going to color the centers of each one of these bulbs with Daffodil Delight. And then we're going to color them in different colors. So the first color is Melon Mambo, and I'm just going to blend it in with Pink Pirouette, just up to the edge of the Daffodil Delight. And then to create the base, I'm using the basic black marker. I could have used the green, but I found that the black marker makes the light bulbs kind of pop more. Okay, and then the next color is Bermuda Bay. And once we outline that, then we'll just blend it in with Soft Sky. Okay, and then the third color is Tempting Turquoise, and then we'll blend it in with Soft Sky. And then the next 2 colors is Sweet Sugar Plum, and we'll blend it in again with blushing or the Pink Pirouette. So Sweet Sugar Plum and Pink Pirouette, and then the final color is Lemon Lime Twist, and then I blended it in with the Daffodil Delight. All right, so that's the color scheme. And then here's the bottle of Crystal Effects that I found that I didn't even know I owned. And then also I just kind of showed you with the glossy accents. But I'm going to use the Crystal Effects, and we're just going to fill in each one of the bulbs only with the Crystal Effects, and then we'll just let that dry. And I think I let it dry for a good hour. So we're back, and now it's all dry, and I'm going to use this stamp set called Add a Little Glitz, which is in the 2017 Christmas catalog. And with Night of Navy, I'm just going to use my Stamp-A-Majig because I can't seem to stamp sentiments straight with cling stamps. So I think that turned out all right. And I really like this stamp set because that sparkle sentiment is nice and big. And then for the snowflake effect, I'm using that Stamen stamp from the kit, the Paper Pumpkin Kit. And we're just going to stamp more on the top with Soft Sky and Tempting Turquoise, and then 3 of them, we'll scatter that down below. All right, so my panel's cut down to 4 inches by 5.5, and I'm going to back it onto Real Red, which is 4.25 by 5.5. And the top part, I just left it 1/8 inch at the top so that we have more of the Real Red peeking out at the bottom. And then we're going to mount it on a side folding card base. And I could have put some glow around each bulb, but I think it just would have made it a little more difficult to do. And so I wanted to keep it nice and simple. So just a couple stills, and then we're going to move on to the second card. All right, we're going to start with Wild Wasabi and that vein stamp from the Paper Pumpkin Kit, and we're going to stamp a branch. So as you're stamping it, you just want it to dip down just a little bit. And then we're going to ink up just halfway on that stamp so that we can extend those little branches on that big branch. All right, and then we're going to use the stamen stamp, and we're going to start off with Lemon Lime Twist. We'll just stamp across that. Daffodil Delight. And then Pear Pizzazz, just to give it that extra bit of dark highlight. And I think I use Wild Wasabi here, or it could be Lemon Lime Twist, just to fill in some of the blank spaces. And then with VersaFine, I'm using black, and I'm going to stamp 4 of these teardrops, which is going to be little Christmas ornaments. And I just let it dry a little bit. And then I'm using a lighter color first, and then the darker color at the top of the ornament there. So I think the first colors were Melon Mambo and Pink Pirouette, and then the blue Tempting Turquoise and Soft Sky, Lemon Lime Twist and Garden Green. And then the 4th color, I used Daffodil Delight with So Saffron, but Daffodil Delight wasn't quite bold enough. So I did bring in Peekaboo Peach. So you get that dark shadowing at the top there. And then I just kind of darken it up a bit more for each element. All right, and then with the Garden Green marker, on using the fine tip, I'm just going to hand draw in some bows just on the top of each one of those ornaments. And then the coordinating color for each one of those ornaments. So this one here is Daffodil Delight, Wild Wasabi, Melon Mambo, and Tempting Turquoise. And I don't know why, but I double stamped them. Okay, and then back to Garden Green marker. On using the fine tip again, we're going to draw the little strings coming off of the branch. Well, mine aren't perfectly straight, but it looks fine. Okay, and then I pulled out my clear Wink of Stella, and I'm just going to cover each one of those ornaments and the top part with that, and also the branch. And off screen, I added the crystal effects actually right in the centers of each one of those ornaments. So I didn't cover the whole ornament, just the centers. All right. And then we're using again the Add a Little Glitz stamp set and that same sentiment. Again, I'm just showing you how I stamped it out using that Stamp-A-Majig. And we're going to stamp that just at the top there. And again, that was Night of Navy. And if you get any like white spaces because it didn't quite ink up entirely, I just grabbed my Night of Navy marker with using the fine tip. I just kind of drew along the letters there just to get them nice and solid. Now this part here, using Soft Sky and Tempting Turquoise and that stamen stamp, I was originally thinking of just doing it on those 2 corners there, but I didn't like it. So then I extended it over on the left side to make it kind of like a C shape, and that looked a little bit better, but then I still didn't like it. So I pulled out Pool Party, and I'm just going to do a little bit of shading around the edges. And I think that kind of blended and tied it all in. So I like that a lot better. And then back to that stamen stamp using Daffodil Delight. I'm just going to add a little bit of kind of like I guess a light ray or sparkle on each one of those ornaments. All right, and then mounted it again also on Real Red and left a 1/8 inch on the right side so that there's more peeking out on the left, and I put it on a top folding card panel. Couple of stills of the final card, and that's it for the 2 alternate projects. Hope you enjoyed that. And then here's the quick bonus card. I used that vein stamp with wild wasabi, stamped around it, and then went inwards towards the center. And then used the stamen stamp and stamped a whole bunch of those with Melon Mambo, Tempting Turquoise, Daffodil Delight, and I believe Sweet Sugar Plum. And then I used the oval die cut and stamped the sentiment from the kit, and then used the ferns and the leaves, which is going to show up in a second there. And then those 2 small die cut flowers. So I did raise them with dimensionals along with that bigger sentiment. And I think it turned out great. And I hand cut around the edges to give that wavy look and then mounted on the Peekaboo Peach card base that came in the kit. Anyways, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye for now.